So, and I am not kidding you guys, after years of it being in its package, yes, I've had the movie Doctor Sleep for several years at this point, never opened it up, never had an interest in it. I finally opened it up and I watched it, and the question going through my head is, was it worth it? Well, kinda yes and no. And I'll explain all that in a minute. So Doctor Sleep is the long-awaited sequel to The Shining, and not only that, also its book was the long-awaited sequel to Stephen King's fantastic novel. And it delves in a little bit deeper on The Shine, the lore of the whole story, which I found really fascinating. And you have Danny, played by Ewan McGregor. He is several years old. He's several years older than he was from the original movie, and you can tell that this guy has seen some very dark stuff in his life. It, After everything that Danny has went through in his childhood, especially with the power that he has, it's really interesting that no, it's not. He never really had a good life. He's basically had a very messed up and screwed up life, and that was really fun to see. I like the idea of the cult members that are going around and they suck the souls out of people who have the shine. They feed off of it, and they have their own story, which I found fascinating. But there are a lot of elements in this movie that I really did not like. I mean, this movie has to remind you that this is a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, a film in which famously Stephen King was not a big fan of. In fact, he downright hated that movie. So, you need to make a movie that pleases the author of the book, but at the same time to remind you that this is a sequel to a Stanley Kubrick movie. So you're kind of in a pickle here. Yeah, they want you to know that this is a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's movie The Shining, because you clearly cannot renew it. They tried it. It wasn't good, but they tried it. So you have those elements going on, and it's just that annoying member berry stuff that I am so sick of watching. Like for example, when Danny is in the hotel, some shots are similar to the original. That the bar scene alone when he's having a drink with Jack, that is familiar. I just hate it when sequels have to remind you of this stuff. And it's like the film is telling you, ooh, remember this scene from The Shining? Oh, you remember this shot from The Shining? You remember this filmmaking from The Shining? Yes, I do remember that filmmaking from The Shining because I watched The Shining every single Halloween. And Valentine's Day for some reason. But anyway, that's the stuff that I really do not like. Just all the stuff that's just a reshoot of Stanley Kubrick's work. I mean, I get it. A lot of people are really big fans of Stanley Kubrick's work. He was an artist. He had a fashion when it comes to filmmaking. For him, every single shot had to be perfect, and he does not give up on a scene until he sees the best scene possible. So basically, all of his work is all of the best shots that he could put in a film. And in this one, it feels like the director is saying to himself, "Okay, I want to film exactly like Stanley Kubrick, but I really don't feel like shooting this scene 127 times." Which is a shame. We don't exactly see the type of Stanley Kubrick filmmaking anymore. I mean, people have tried. I mean, Steven Spielberg tried it in the movie AI. Even the director in this movie, he tried to shoot like Stanley Kubrick. But the passion, the love of filmmaking, it's just not there. It's rushed. It's messy. It's all, let's just say, clunky. That's the word I'm going to use. Whereas Stanley Kubrick wants to make every single shot in his film perfection. You can see everything around you. You can see the set designs. You can see the characters and what they're going through. You can see the setting that they are in. And not only that, he also gets the actors not only physically good for acting, but also mentally as well. In the original Shining, you could tell Wendy, she was just absolutely exhausted. She was so stressed out. You could tell it in her face. And when it comes to Jack, you can tell he's exhausted. He's not sleeping much. And everything that is going through these shots, you could tell that these people, they're not exactly in a healthy position, which kind of brings in the idea of whether these ghosts actually exist or is Jack just going crazy. And that was the beauty of Stanley Kubrick. He shows you where the story is going. He doesn't have to explain the story. And for movies nowadays, it's a lot more explaining than it is showing. So that's my thoughts on Dr. Sleep. And even though there are some moments in this movie that I did enjoy the building of the lore of The Shine itself, but the reminders that this is an adaptation of this is a Stanley Kubrick sequel is really distracting. So I gotta say, Dr. Sleep is worth watching at least once. So, Dr. Sleep, have you seen it? What did you think of it? If I missed anything, comment them down below. Also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video.